How do I take care of my mental wellness? Well, first of all, when sometimes maybe I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself, I think I just try and take a breather, like calm down. Yeah, and then also just, question myself when things aren't going right, try put myself in line. I can go sit and, just meditate on things that maybe are stressing me, or, yeah, and I try think about them and then think of solutions instead of focusing on the problem.
If I'm feeling an emotion, I'll express it. I'll just not close it in. Yeah.
First, sleep. I loved sleep, right? And also the Bible says when Elijah was telling God that I can't do this anymore, the angels were just like, they gave him food and then they're like, you gotta sleep. So it's sleep and food. Yeah. Also share with other people what I'm going through, most especially like other fellow believers in fellowship, talk about it.
To be honest, I avoid things which stress me a lot, like things which can trigger I am stressed, so like I try to avoid them as possible. Yeah, and look for things which like are relaxing and do things.
I take care of my mental wellness by taking long walks whenever I'm stressed. I listen to music so that I can relax. I also talk to my family, my friends, when I go through challenges, and I also practice by having a good diet.
I tend to find my hobbies, which is cooking. I dance as well. I mainly find pleasure in dancing, and that's how I heal myself when I'm feeling bad in any way or I'm having any issues. I tend to avoid people who will make me feel different in any way. And let's say when they're making me feel like I don't belong, and sometimes that takes toll on people's mental health. So I tend to avoid such people.
Wow, a very good morning to you once again here on Family Matters. It is the 7th day of October 2025. Indeed, we are grateful to the Most High God for giving us this opportunity to just be here and discussing very important issues or matters when it comes to mental health. And this morning we're going to be asking a question. What is it about mental wellness? How important is it to you? So as you're plugging in this morning, for Family Matters, that is a question that really we're going to be looking at, and I have experts with me in studio who will be helping us unpack or even try to answer this question. You yourself, wherever you're watching us from, how do you handle your mental wellness? Is it like what we've just had? Some go for walks, some, stress eat as they call it. You're going to be telling us about that in a few. And remember to be part of this conversation. Plug in on 20316, SMS line 0786316316. That is our WhatsApp line, as well as we are live on our YouTube channel. So be part of this conversation and ask your questions to the beautiful ladies that have in studio. Beauty with Brains is right here with me this morning. And so welcome my beautiful guests. And, I cannot wait for us to start this conversation, Hannah and Faith, just to help us answer this question. How important is mental wellness? I know last month was about suicide awareness. It was a month for all that. Yeah, so it's a continuation really from last month, and we're getting into this. But first, let's start by introducing ourselves.
All right.
Go first.
Thank you so much, Sally.
Yeah.
So before I tell you who I am, let me remind my viewers of who they are, whole, worthy, and still becoming. That's the heart of every conversation I hold as a counseling psychologist, a CBT counselor, a mental health champion. I recently won as the mental health advocate of the year in our country and East Africa.
Congratulations.
And I'm really grateful. Thank you so much, Sally. Yes.
Okay, your name?
And I'm Karuga Hannah Wanjiru.
Okay.
Thank you.
Karibu sana, Hannah. Yeah.
Yes.
Good morning, viewers. Good morning, everyone. My name is Faith Nafula Atsango.
Yeah.
I'm a counseling psychologist by profession. And I'm happy to be here to just discuss this important topic, mental wellness. Is it important? Do we take care of ourselves? Do we even know what to do to be well mentally? Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Wow, and I'm glad that, you both are from different generations, actually. I really like that because one, Hannah is a Gen Z,
Yes.
and then Faith is a millennial. So we're going to see really today as we unpack all this. And of course, I know you'll touch on boomers and all that,
Yes.
but we're going to see who opens up more,
Okay.
who are the ones who just hold on to the issues and say, I'm not sharing here. But to start us off, Faith, maybe I'll start with you.
Yes.
How important then is, mental wellness?
Mental wellness is very, very important to us because if you're not mentally stable, chances of you even functioning well are very minimal.
You're right.
Relating with yourself, with your family members, with your colleagues at work, if you don't take care of your mental space, then you'll not be able even to express yourself as a person. You will not be able to know who you are.
Yeah.
You will not be able even to control your emotions.
Okay.
Anything small, you get irritable, you snap on people, you're always moody, you don't know what to, as in how even to parent your own children.
Right.
So you need to be well first before you go out there and present yourself, before you go out there and become a mother or a husband or a sister or a colleague at work. So you need to check your mental wellness first before you go out. They say you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Absolutely.
So there are practices that we usually do or you're expected to do before you go out there to be a more productive person to the society and to the people you engage with.
Absolutely. I love that. Quite a great start. Hannah, if you may also just give us a definition or from where you sit, what you think or know good mental wellness is.
All right. Before I start to the definition of a good mental wellness I want to give the definition of what is mental health at the first place, you know. So I'll say that mental health refers to a person's emotional, psychological, and social well-being.
Okay.
That's how we think, feel, act, or rather behave. And it also affects how we relate with people, manage stress, and make decisions, Now, good mental health wellness, or rather good mental health, what does that mean? It doesn't mean that I have to be perfect, that perfect body, or I don't have stress, or, such things. It means that I am able to manage stress. I'm able to bounce back from setbacks or challenges, and of course I'm able to form those healthy relationships and of course sustain them. That is the meaning of good mental health. Doesn't mean those perfect bodies at sifaikuwa na stress. No, stress is there, it's there today, it's there the next minute.
Right.
But the question here is, are you able to manage it? Are you able to ground yourself in a healthy way? Yes, so that's the definition of good mental health.
I love that because when you say managing issues, sometimes you find people who go out drinking, and they tell you it's because I'm stressed. And so what you're saying is quite important for people who think like that I go to indulge substance abuse because of that. But Faith, let's look at prioritizing someone's mental wellness. How can one do that? And have you seen a difference between someone who has prioritized their mental wellness and someone who doesn't even care about it?
Yeah, there are so many differences. So many differences. So the people who take care of their mental space, they're able to express their emotions without hiding. Right? Without feeling that if I express I'm sad, people will judge me. So they're able to freely express what they're feeling at that time. If someone is angry, he's able to express that and say what they feel, right? They're aware of their emotions. Another thing, when you prioritize your mental wellness, you're able to set boundaries that, yes, I'm your mother, I'm your sister, but there's far you can get. Don't take advantage of who I am or my personality, that I'm a good person, then you just come and start doing things, say, Faith is a good person, he is so kind, impole. So you should be able to set boundaries as to how far people can get to your space and how far people can go against what you feel or you think is right. Another thing is you prioritize your self-care activities, that if you believe sleeping is good for you, don't feel bad that people will say Faith is lazy, she likes sleeping. Correct. Maybe that is how you take care of yourself. Correct. Because if you don't sleep, if you don't get enough sleep on a daily basis, you will get cranky. You will not be able to concentrate in class if you're a student. You will not be able to concentrate even while at work. So you need to take care of your sleep or things that make you function well as a person. Another thing of a person who takes care of themselves, they engage in activities that generate joy. Like if you like listening to music, go for it. If you like window shopping, that is it. If you feel like when you go to the gym, of course it helps us generate some feeling good hormones called dopamine. Go for it. Engage yourself in activities that will make you feel good. Fantastic. On the other hand, if you don't take care of yourself, it's the opposite of what I've said. You will get sick because of the stress, because when you get stressed we also trigger a hormone in our body called cortisol. It's acidic in nature. It will compromise your immune system. It will bring in sicknesses. You'll just be getting sick. You don't know what is happening to me. Kumbe, it's you're not taking care of your mental state, right? If you also don't set boundaries, people will just take advantage of you. In the long run, you'll start getting mad, cranky. Oh, people are not being fair to me. People are mean to me, you know, and stuff like that. And if you also don't take care of yourself or your mental space, you'll neglect of who the person you are. You'll now start going by the flow, doing what other people want you to be, not who you want to be or who you are as a person.
Okay. I like what you talked about stress levels because and illnesses, because I know, I've read that, you know, it contributes highly. Stress levels and cancer have a serious connection.
Actually, WHO has put stress to be among the #1 stress causes, because what the cortisol does to your body, cortisol is in acidic nature. It goes and dries up your mucal body parts, and in that you've had people who complain of arthritis. I don't know, I feel pain in my joints. It's just too much production of cortisol caused by stress.
Okay. You know, when we started the show, we had what Kenyans had to say about what they do just to manage their stress levels. And someone talked about meditation, Hannah. How important is meditation, and what also they talked about just having a me time? How important is that away from all the distractions?
Okay, I'll say that myself, I do meditate, and it brings a sense of self-reflection. That's a time where you have just a time with you. But again, this time when a person meditates, you know, it depends, because kuna wale watu wenye, you'll meditate, but not just you want, it's not like you want to be okay, but it's only that you want to, you know, it's too much, it's way too much. So hata hii ukimeditate, you feel, no, I don't have seen a hope, you know, I don't feel like moving forward. But again, meditation is something that's very, very important, and it brings a sense of self-realization. You know, it brings calmness. At least you just isolate yourself, not the isolate we ile mental health, the one that's alarming, but ile isolation. I want to know me time. Some me time. I want to know myself better. So it's very important, and it works, actually does.
So I'm also hearing you mentioning something like introspection. Sit down and just look within you and probably get to see where the problem is. Okay. Being like we had started earlier, this is just Gen Zs and millennials, and then there's also boomers, Faye, and I'm just wondering, do these different generations also handle mental wellness differently?
Wow, boomers are the age gap of 1946 to 1964. And when you come to us, we are born between 1981 to 1996, 97. Gen Z, 97 to about 2012. So in these age gaps, you realize the spaces are different. The spaces are different. The boomers, they were not in the technological era,
Yeah.
right? So for them, they viewed mental wellness as a weakness. That if you go out there and start talking about your problems, what's wrong with you? Can't you handle your own issues?
Especially as a man?
Yes, as a man, even as women.
Okay.
So you find that people used to suppress a lot on their emotions, not talking about it, just finding ways of surviving and going about their own lives and minding their own business. That yes, they are faced with stress, but they cannot talk about it because also of the stigma that
comes
was
with it.
Yes. So you find that that age group really struggled, not like us, the millennial, right? We were born in the technological time, and people were able to vent and talk and even Google and search and find out, I'm feeling like this, what could it mean? They could even go and read, right? And from reading, they were so self-aware, they were able to start talking about it. It's not yet embraced. We are still struggling with it because of the stigma that comes with it also. No one wants to be branded like, wewe ni mwendo wazimu, or you're such a moody person and stuff like that. And when you go to the Gen Zs, they're more expressive.
Very much so.
They're more self-aware of what is happening with them. They form groups where they can vent and talk about issues compared to us, the millennials. So we handle issues differently depending on when or the age group that you belong into.
Okay, I hear you. Hannah, you may want to add something on that actually.
What Faith has said, and I will want to focus more on the generational trauma. And that's why Gen Zs are more informed and they open up compared to the millennials. Why? Our parents, or rather millennials' parents, they were raised by, like now they will kind of show, they didn't know, or rather they were raised, how can a joke express themselves, you know? They were raised with no love, they were raised with, I've provided everything, uko na food, uko na nini, uko shule, uko kila kitu. What more do you need, you know? And they grew up with, I don't know how to communicate. And that's why you find out so many millennials, they don't know how to parent. You know, they parent their kids, because there's a group of parents I really facilitate and they tell them that it's not about providing for your kids. It takes more than that. Usiseme because they have food, they have shelter, they have nini, they are okay. No. When you raise them, you're supposed to provide for them the love, the affection, the attention, the validation, be there emotionally, spiritually, physically.
What we didn't get, then you give it to your children.
What you didn't get, then give it to your children. Now, for millennials, they really didn't know how to express themselves. And that's why it's very difficult for them to open up, for them to recognize, how am I feeling? But now for the Gen Zs, they realize that, no, this is a generational trauma that I have to cut. I'm not going to pass it to my children. That's why you find out, even at workplaces, Gen Zs, they're not entitled, but they're like, I know I deserve better. Why is this environment a toxic environment?
But we misinterpret it to, they're spoiled.
Exactly.
They're not cooperative.
They're rude. You know, that's not true. You know, they know their rights. They know that this is not how I'm supposed to be treated. Things are not right. I'm not feeling okay. Therefore, I need to go and seek, therapy. Yes, and that's why Gen Zs are opening up more than millennials.
It's not about also like millennial parents, then you end up spoiling these children more, because when you say what we didn't get, then we give them, can't we over Faith, for example, can we over provide for them and then we end up spoiling them, as some people say?
That's true. We can end up overdoing it in terms of saying, I want to compensate on what I didn't get growing up. What I think it's important here is just to strike a balance. Like, you need to self-reflect yourself as a parent or a caregiver and ask yourself, am I overdoing or am I doing it balanced? And also you can get this by seeking therapy. You can consult, you can ask your peers who have done it better than you, and you consider this is a benchmark that I can benchmark and use, you see. So you need to just be careful so that you also don't be overly protective,
overcompensate.
Yes, and overcompensate, because we've seen parents who are overcompensating. They're saying, growing up I didn't eat pizza, So let my kids eat pizza. And in the long run, what happens? You develop obese or overweight issues. And with that, what happens? The kid gets body shamed, get bullied in school.
Mental illness
and it comes back to mental wellness issues,
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that, because also it could be on the flip side, because I didn't go through very good parenting at the time, then I can just pass it over easily to the children. Is that possible?
It is. It is. And actually, my message to the millennials is, you know how patterns work. But just like I said, that generational trauma. If you realize that, I will not focus more on the materialistic things, because anyway, it doesn't matter. I've had Gen Z's clients who tell me that now I was growing up, my mom and dad were never there. Why? Anatoka asubuhi mtoto akiwa amelala na anarudi usiku mtoto akiwa amelala.
So they don't see each other at all.
Exactly. Now as a millennial parent, unasema I'm providing, I'm giving them money and all that, but you're really affecting them. So my message to the millennials is, if you know you didn't grow up well, I tell people that whatever happened to you was never ever your fault. You didn't have control over that. But your healing is your full responsibility. The world didn't want to pass that generational trauma to your kids and their kids, and you know, it becomes chaotic.
A vicious cycle.
Exactly. So it's very important for them to realize that I did not get this, and I wouldn't want my kids to go through that, because there's a lot of things that happen. Self-esteem, you know, it affects our personality, how we behave, how we relationships, you know. So
Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that bit of it must end with me. Let it be a very personal journey. And we're going to take a very short break here, right now, because there's something I may want us to watch and listen in on. I think it's about matters suicide as well, as we come in and also talk about what Faith has just mentioned, stigma. So we'll be right back after this very short break just to discuss much more. So keep on sending your feedback on 20316 SMS line 0786 316 316. That is our WhatsApp line. And also remember, for you can be able to be part of our journey as we support or want to penetrate into Lamu, so that Lamu, who is our new baby, can be part of this amazing content, information, and just be part of this family as we impact lives out there. Remember, it's also our customer service week, and we want to wish you a very happy customer service week as we appreciate you for being part of this journey. We want to say thank you so much for even helping us create content that is impacting lives out there. So we'll be seeing you right after this very short break.
Life can be tough. Sometimes the challenges we face feel heavier than we can carry. And for some, those struggles may lead to thoughts of suicide. According to the WHO, the World Health Organization, over 700,000 people around the world die by suicide every year, making it the third leading cause of death among young people aged 15 to 29. Kenya faces a substantial suicide burden. Roughly 1,400 to 1,600 deaths a year by common estimates, with particular concern for adolescents and young adults. Kenya's Ministry of Health and WHO-aligned reports indicate that men consistently account for the majority of completed suicides. Women report more suicidal ideation and attempts, but these are less likely to be fatal. Behind every statistic is a real story, a person, a friend, a sibling, a parent, someone who matters deeply. If you notice these signs in someone you care about, don't stay silent. Reach out. Ask how they're really doing. Listen without judgment. Sometimes your concern could be the lifeline they need. Withdrawing from loved ones, sudden mood swings, giving away possessions, talking about wanting to die. And if you're the one struggling, know this: you are not alone. Talk to someone you trust. Call a friend, a counselor, or a professional. Your life matters, and help is available. The Bible reminds us in Psalm 34:18, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. God sees you and He cares for you. Let's replace silence with support and despair with hope. Together, we can prevent suicide because every life is worth living. If you or someone you love is struggling, please reach out to Amani Center, whose contacts are displayed on your screen. Remember, there is hope, and suicide is preventable. Family Media, keeping Jesus on the airwaves.
Wow, welcome back. That was indeed quite some information. They're quite loaded when it comes to matters suicide, which has everything to do with mental wellness, mental health. You'll find people sometimes being very judgmental, like, why can't they handle this? Why can't they? But when you're in that situation, I think getting out of it is quite something. And the experts are here. Definitely they're going to tell us why is it that sometimes you're in that hole and you can actually not come out. The only thing you want to do is end your life. A conversation we had last week, if you remember, with a young lady who actually was somewhere on Thika Road and she kept on contemplating. The only thing that kept her, apart from God, she said, was her own child. This is an amazing conversation, and as I had mentioned earlier, please support us to just bring on board Lamu, which is our new baby. You can do that by sending your support to paybill number 316. The account name is Lamu. Let's go on with our conversation. And I like that this aspect of suicide has come. You know, when you look at that, you know, Hannah, what are some of the signs, that a telltale sign that you could look at and say, my loved one probably is going through something, or a friend? What are those signs?
Okay, let me start with those signs that are very hard to tell, and most people tend to mistake them for they are okay.
Okay.
Number one is giving away possessions, you know. You might say that maybe anapeana because they want to buy other things. Na hivyo ndo watasema, by the way, I just want to give away my things because I just want to start afresh and buy new things. Little do you know, they just want to give away their things. Ndio wakikufa wasiachie mtu yeyote. The other one is extremely being happy. All right? And actually, my advice to everyone is check on your happy friends.
Yeah.
Ule mwenye anasema today I'm just happy. You know, most of them are happy because
it's ending soon.
It's ending soon. You know, like I'm now finally resting. I'm now finally, you know, ending it all.
Yeah.
So it's very important for you to check on your happy friends. Why are they happy? What happened?
Is it genuine?
You know, is it genuine or it's just they're happy?
Sorry.
Yes, other things and all that. The other thing is hopelessness and helplessness, where you notice that they're very helpless, they're very hopeless, they don't see hope for life, they don't see hope, they don't see meaning, they wouldn't even want to like step another step forward, you know. The other sign is isolation, and that's why if you had a friend who was outgoing, extrovert and all that, you should check up on them when they isolate themselves, you know. They might be going through something, they might be contemplating suicide and all that, so it's very important. The other sign that's very, very important is they used to enjoy the things they no longer enjoy the things they used to love, like literally they don't, you know. Mtu alikuwa anapenda maybe kufanya biking or swimming and all that, but all of a sudden it doesn't even make sense to them. It doesn't make them happy. They just want to withdraw and just live their own life. It's very important for you to check up on those friends.
Let me ask Faith something as I bring you in, Faith. What happens to the brain? Because you're a mom or a dad, you love your children, you love your parents, but at this point, nothing matters. You don't care about anything. Why? What really happens?
I think at that point, you just become overwhelmed, right? Maybe you have a pressure of school fees, you've not paid rent, you don't even know where you'll get money even to feed for your family. Then you just lose hope and say, let me just terminate this. I can no longer carry it. I can no longer see my people suffering. let me just exit and maybe I'll feel better and rest, because I put in so much work, I put more effort, I try my best to provide for my people, but yet I cannot achieve this.
Oh, yeah.
So you find that you get so hopeless and say, enough is enough, let me just exit.
And so that's why it's called an illness, ni ugonjwa.
Yeah, it's ugonjwa, and you need to go get checked.
Yeah.
People are struggling out here. They walk with depression, they walk with bipolar, schizo, but because of the stigma, no one wants to go and seek help.
Okay.
Because what will people say? As I said, in the baby boomers and part of the millennials, they believe when you go seek help, you're a weak person, right? So you don't want to be perceived like that, especially men. They believe we are the providers, we are the kings, we are the problem solvers. How will people view us? You know,
my wife.
Well, how will my wife, how will my peers view me as a person?
Okay.
Can I just end it and just forget about it? And that's how they end up taking their own lives.
And I'm seeing with the balloon.
Yes.
But before that, first say what you have to say.
All right. Actually, it's connected with the balloon.
Yes.
So I just want to add to what Faith said.
Yeah.
And I want to say that those people who die by suicide, they don't do it because of the immediate situation they are in. It is a series of repressed feelings, emotions, whereby they suppress. Unaona una suppress, and that's why I have this balloon. Where you suppress, this balloon was very flat, but to inflate air into it. We inflated this balloon and it became to this size. So this is what happens when people repress and suppress their emotions and feelings. Repression is the brain automatically does it, but sasa hile ya suppression, you know that you're suppressing, you know that you don't want to feel that pain, you know that you don't want to address that issue. So what happens if you continue repressing, suppressing, inakuwa kubwa kama this balloon. So ndio mtu afike hiyo point where he or she will say that I want to end it all. This is what happens. Unaona ame, and then good. It was loud, right?
Yeah.
It was scary. That is what happens when our emotions burst. When we burst, we lack control. We cannot be able to think clearly. We cannot be able to make healthy decisions. That's why the only thing you see is I just want to die.
Okay.
It's not about the immediate situation. It's a series of so many. Yes, it's a pile up. You've been bottling up your emotions, your feelings, and all that. And it's like you burst into anger, in a burst into frustrations. You don't see any hope or meaning to live again.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. It's a heavy discussion, you know. With your, you know, you have your clients coming in in your space. Are there still myths that surround mental wellness? Do we still have myths?
We have a lot of myths surrounding wellness. One of them I've just spoken about it, that you're weak. That is a myth, that you're weak, you want to go and seek counseling. You're such a weak person. That's not a myth, it's a reality. Another one is most people who are mentally ill are violent. That wanapigananga tu, hawavai vizuri. I've just said, we have people who are depressed and they still walk around within us. They walk with depression and they're within ourselves because they don't know that is what they're going through. Another myth is that mental wellness is a rare occurrence. It's not. We have it around us. Among ourselves, among our friends. You might see someone who is just having funny behaviors, but they've not talked about it. So you just assume that is his character, right? Another myth that I come across is that when you seek help, then that's the end of it. You're almost dying.
Oh, yeah.
That people go to the therapist when it's the last resort. That's not true. We have people who seek therapy because maybe they're going through adjusting session, like a newly married couple. They want to settle in, they want to get facilitative counseling. How am I going to stay with my partner? I need tips on how to adjust on being a mother or being a grandmother or experiencing an empty nest. So going for therapy is not dalili ya siku za mwisho. It's something normal.
It's something very normal.
Yeah, so those are the myths that I've come across.
You know, Faith has mentioned something that, you know, wachana na huyu ni mwendazimu, leave that one, that's a mad person. What are the dangers of just labeling someone's, you know, the normal emotions of someone as mental illness? You know, someone, you're allowed to be upset, but someone will say, that one is a mad person. What are the dangers of that?
Okay, I'll not talk about the perpetrator, I'll talk more about the victim, mwenye anaambiwa hizo vitu. And sasa hiyo italeta what Faith said, that hawataenda kuseek help, because they're like, ai nitenda sasa hata niambie therapist, and that's it comes back to us, you know. So watakuwa like, if I have been told that seeking help mimi ni mwenda wazimu, I shouldn't feel angry, I shouldn't feel sad and all that, how about therapist ataniona aje? I've had clients who, you know, I'm on the social media platform, and they tell me, Hannah, if I talk to you, I hope you won't judge me, you know. So you're like, okay,
that's their starting point.
Yeah, that's their starting point. I hope if I come for therapy, you're not going to judge me. Why? It doesn't just, they don't just wake up and feel like people are here to judge me, people are here to see like I'm mad or crazy or something. It started from somewhere. And what happens if umeshindo ukikuwa conditioned all the time that you're a crazy person? If you seek help, you're mad. If you seek help, you're very weak, especially for men. And I really advocate for men's mental health because it's very, very important. So yeah, it really affects the victim like a lot. They will not seek help. Nandoma unapata, they're dying by suicide. They're going to alcohol, these drugs and all that just to cope, you know? Yes.
And you've talked about men, and I remember a conversation we had just before coming on board, that they actually don't even want to be seen, a particular religion. Yeah, if you may briefly talk about that.
All right, yeah. I once had a client, not Christian, but other religion. And he was very concerned. Like he was telling me, in that where we are in those apartments, is it only a counseling apartment or there are other offices? So I had to validate him and tell him that no, sisi peke yetu, there are other law firms and all that and all that. But he really insisted, nataka hata sitaki tufanyie huko, let's just find a hotel because I don't want to be seen.
You're not seen, you're seeking help.
Yes. And by the way, when we did the first session, he told me that no, I'm not coming back again. Not because you didn't help me, but because as I was walking in, of course you have to tell the person at the gate that naenda room 2 ama wherever. Na hiyo room 2 anajua ni a counseling. So oh my goodness, so it's that serious, you know,
especially with men.
Especially with men, and mostly some religions, it's very, very critical.
Okay.
Yes.
Faye, let's talk about work environment, because my colleague earlier, Pastor Ted, was talking about, you know, frustrations at the workplace. And this is where I think most people really get a lot of stress, you know, whether it's you're employed or you're just in business. How then do you manage or handle stress? Probably it's from your boss, the work environment, pile up of work, colleagues. How do you manage this? And it's somewhere you are in every single day.
That's a good one, because I assume you're all in that space at the office. I think the best ways of handling this stress or burnout most people go through is just prioritize yourself.
Okay.
When I talk about prioritizing yourself is make sure you get best rest. Yes, work is there. It's not going anywhere. So rest, because with rest you'll be more productive.
Correct.
Time management. Manage your time well. Yes, we have deadlines, we have researches to do, reports to do, but time management is of importance. In your day we have how many? 24. Sit down and see how many hours will I give personal care, how many hours will I give work, how many hours will I give family and friends. Right?
We rarely do that, actually.
Rare. We don't. We don't. Right? Another thing is see what you can handle and what you cannot handle and discuss it with your colleagues or with your bosses. Your boss might have an expectation of, I want Faith to come here and do 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
But because Faith has special needs, maybe Faith is pregnant.
Yeah.
Faith has a small kid who is lactating back at home. Faith has a sick parent or a child that he needs to take care of. Be able to talk to your boss or your colleagues and see what can they do to make your baggage or burden less.
What if a boss is not understanding?
Talk to your colleagues. Talk to your colleagues because I'm sure you'll get colleagues. I've seen nurses doing shifts. I've seen a nurse talking to a fellow nurse that I need to travel this weekend. Can you step in for me these 2 days and then I will step in for you 2 days, even without their bosses knowing.
And work still flows.
Yes. So talk to your and also seek support. Don't be that person who I'm strong, I can do this by myself. You're not weak when you seek support. You can call in your colleague and say, by the way, this is how I'm feeling. What can I do? And then, you know, once you talk to your friend, they're able to give you ideas.
You get solutions right in there, isn't it?
Yes. Just to add to what Faith said, you know, there are very toxic environments.
Right.
Whereby the boss is very toxic and narcissistic. It goes down to the HR and actually all the employees. I have had clients who tell me, Hannah, I want to resign. Hannah, write me a letter. I just want to leave because I can't, I don't have anyone to help me here. So number one, I would want to tell such a person that we tend to stress ourselves over things we cannot control. You know, there are things we can control and there are things we cannot control. Whatever is happening at your workplace, those are things you cannot control. What can you control is self-care, what Faith said. How are you going to go about it? And again, don't just resign, because I've also had clients who are like, Hannah, I just want to resign. But we are like, you have bills to pay. Okay, yeah, your mental health is very important, but you have bills to pay. You have people depending on you. What if you just resign hivo tu without a plan? Utakuwa frustrated, utakuwa depressed, even maybe die by suicide because now you feel it's too much. No one is
now.
Exactly.
You're the balloon now.
You're not the balloon. People are depending on you. You don't have a job and all that. So I tell people, even in that, you should heal in the crime scene. By the way, that's the word we use. Heal in the crime scene. And also, don't just sit there. Apply. Don't just leave. Don't. Even as you take care of yourself, because you know that I do not have control over how toxic my workplace is, but I have control over how am I going to manage all these, you know? So it's very important for everyone. If you feel like you're in a very toxic place, working place, don't resign fast. Resign with a plan. Apply. Ukipata umepata mali pengine, live freely. Na unajua, I have a better plan. Siendi tu kukaa nyumbani.
I think that's a conversation we can have like for 2-3 hours, because again, remember, this person is sick. We say this is sickness. So they don't reason, or sometimes you don't even care. You've been pushed to the wall. And you're like, my mental health comes first. The rest God will take care. But a conversation for another day. Let's talk about policies, you know, Faith, in terms of access to, as we wind up, so briefly, access to like mental wellness. What changes would you like to see when it comes to policy?
Wow, I like talking about that. One of the things that I really want to see changing in our country or even our workplaces is I would love to see most insurance companies offering wellness insurance covers. They've been doing medical for the longest time. I've seen Jubilee is introducing the wellness package. And also another thing that I would want it to be introduced, especially in schools and even in workplaces, is the counseling rooms or counseling openings in conjunction with the HR department. I know the HRs carry a lot. They're the ones who, mtoto wangu ni mgonjwa, sisi kukuja job leo, but I feel we need to give a boost to the HR because they are not counselors, they are not psychologists, they are just HRs. There's much they can do.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, and there's much they can do that a counselor, when enhanced in that department, will be better. Another thing is have
briefly, because of time,
open door policy where you can just go see your boss and express yourself without them being judgmental, and they give you help. Of course, that comes with them being equipped with the knowledge of what mental wellness is.
Fantastic. And I think those are very, very important issues right there. Unfortunately, we may not be able to continue with this amazing conversation, but you never know. This month being that month, the 10th could be that day. You never know. Thank you so much for being part of this amazing conversation. I do hope and pray that you've really taken in some tips, you've learned something, and if you need any more help, please reach out and we'll be able to share the contacts of our guests in studio just to guide you and help you if you need that help. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation. Remember, if you want to be a partner, then you can send the word partner to 20316, which is our SMS line, or 0786316316. That is our WhatsApp line, and our customer service desk will definitely reach out to you as we celebrate this customer service week with you. And also to our partners, we want to say asante sana, and please keep holding our hands as we progress on from 26 to 27 and even the 50th anniversary. God bless you and keep you. See you again tomorrow. And again, remember, we also have the cooperative bank account. 0113 is the number, 0113 6000799100, and the account name is TBN Family Media. God bless you and keep you. See you again tomorrow on Matters Finances. Again, I'll be having some youth here and financial growth. Bye for now.